So today I am 32 weeks and 2 days pregnant. I'm here in Bradley's room for a little change of scenery, sitting in his rocker. I had my appointment this morning, my 32-week appointment, and the last I told y'all I had my 30-week appointment, which was not quite 2 weeks ago. We were planning for a 39-week induction. Well, that was based on the assumption that he's going to be a big baby, and we will still have that growth scan at 36 weeks. But I've had some new symptoms over the last couple of weeks. So I mentioned to the midwife today that I had been experiencing a lot more itching, especially in my face and neck, on my hands and my wrists, and in my feet. And I didn't think much of it, but I thought it was kind of weird that I was itching all the time. I figured she'd say take some Benadryl and it'll be fine. Instead, she said, can I see your wrists? So she looked at my wrists and she can see where I've been scratching and where it's kind of, there's not a rash, but she can tell that I'm irritated, and decided to send me over to the lab to draw some blood. So I had some blood work done today to test my bile acids on the suspicion that I might have something called cholestasis of pregnancy, which is where your gallbladder produces too much bile acid, which is exacerbated by a lot of estrogen, which pregnant women produce a lot of estrogen, and your liver can't quite filter all of that bile acid out, so it gets released into your bloodstream, which causes the itching. So I had blood work drawn for that today, and see, there's an itch right there. Had blood work drawn for that today. It'll take about a week to come back, but if it's confirmed, we'll be meeting Bradley in like 4 weeks. We will be induced between 36 and 37 weeks, and we won't have a February baby after all. It would be a January baby. So that's the biggest new development. Other than that, we talked about, they measure your fundal height at every 3rd trimester appointment. So they put the tape measure on your belly, and a textbook measurement is 1 centimeter for every week you are pregnant. So at my 30-week appointment, I was actually 30 weeks and 6 days, and I measured 31 centimeters, which was perfect. Today, at 32 weeks and 2 days, I also measured 31 centimeters. No change whatsoever. So I had been seeing that in my body. I didn't think that my bump was getting any bigger. So that was confirmed today, that it could just be the way that baby's laying, or it could just be that I didn't have a full stomach, so my stomach wasn't pushing stuff out. But that was mildly concerning to me to hear. I have also really struggled to gain weight during this pregnancy. As I've mentioned in my plus size and pregnant video, sometimes you lose weight when you're bigger when you start out, and that's usually not something to be all that concerned about. But at today's appointment, I was back down 4 pounds from 10 days ago, which again, that appointment was in the afternoon after lunch, and this was a morning appointment, but still, I mean, 4 pounds is a good bit, especially considering I was wearing the same outfit. So that is something that the midwife didn't say much about, but I'm assuming if it's relatively the same situation in 2 weeks at my 34-week appointment, that might be a little more talked about when we come back. So basically we're waiting for results on the itching to see if I've got that cholestasis, and I'm just trying to shove as much food as I can in my mouth to gain a little weight and get this baby all the nutrition that he needs. I am not totally convinced that he's gonna be a big baby. I know that in my last video I talked about how that had always been the assumption, and that has always been my assumption my whole life, even before I married a man who was 12 pounds when he was born. With me being a big baby, my brother being a big baby, my mom being a big baby, my aunt being a big baby, I've always assumed that I would have big babies, and I'm just not convinced that that's going to be the case with Bradley. If he is big, it will be the biggest, not shock, but I'll be surprised if he's on the 11-pound side of things, just because I'm really not very big. I do have a longer torso, so the bump has more room to spread out, but because I'm not gaining a whole lot of weight, because my bump is now measuring behind, I'm just not convinced that he's going to be the big baby that everybody thinks he is. Now, if I do have cholestasis and I have to be induced at between 36 and 37 weeks, he shouldn't be very big because he'll be an early baby, but I'm just kind of taking that day by day. I'm trying not to do too much Google research because I don't want to freak myself out. But the reason that they induce early for cholestasis babies is because the bile acid in your bloodstream poses a larger risk of complications like stillbirth, which of course nobody wants to experience after 37 weeks. So we'll see. My gut feeling is that he's gonna come early, whether it's for cholestasis or something else. I just feel like I've been having that nesting urge, and I'm having a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I really just think he won't be a February 6th on his due date baby. That being said, I have had a ton of Braxton Hicks contractions. I said in one of my videos last week that I was in bed all last Monday afternoon with contractions and trying to get those to stop. It seems that I have them worse in the evenings, and now they're being accompanied by like period-like cramps, like a rubber band around my pelvis to my back, and then it spreads down the fronts of my legs, exactly the same as like the day before and the day I start my period. So that's mildly concerning to me. That was actually more concerning to me than the itching until this morning, when my midwife was far more concerned about the itching than she was about the contracting. And so I'll be starting a magnesium supplement for those. So in other news, this weekend we did pick up a dresser off of Facebook Marketplace to go in this room. I already have a smaller dresser over here that we got from IKEA. It is not going to work. It's just not big enough for clothes, diapers, all my supplies that I want to put in there. So it is going into our guest room across the hall for overflow supplies and to round that room out a little bit more as well. We also, what else did we do for Bradley this weekend? Oh, we had birthing class, which Thomas and I are forever scarred by. It was a all day 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. class. It was very involved. There was a ton of information given. They gave us a book to take home and read the rest of. And we watched a few very graphic videos of what birth looks like from the doctor's perspective, which I really didn't need to know. So we have at least gotten that far. We feel a little more prepared, which is fantastic. And just getting ready to meet this baby. And it looks like that may be in about 4 to 6 weeks. If we go to the 39-week appointment, then we're looking at like 6.5 weeks. If the cholestasis is confirmed, we will be meeting Bradley in 4 weeks. Which is soon. And I'm not ready. So now I'll be kicking my preparations into overdrive. I personally feel like I need to get some newborn size diapers and a couple newborn size outfits just in case. And then if it's confirmed, I'll get some more together. But I'm excited. I'm excited to meet him, and honestly, meeting him early doesn't scare me. I know that the doctors know best. It's more the waiting game, and I know that if it is cholestasis, the itching is going to get a lot worse between now and then. So I will be very glad when I get either a confirmation or a no to that. But from what I understand, even if it comes back negative on this first blood draw, the symptoms can predate the labs by 2 weeks, they said. So if this one comes back in the clear, that doesn't really mean we're in the clear. That just means we're gonna have to keep checking. If it does come back that I have cholestasis, I will be given a medication that I have to take 3 times a day until birth, and we will be having non-stress tests twice a week until delivery. So it's kind of an involved thing, but it's honestly pretty safe because you get so much more monitoring of baby. So either way, I know that it'll be fine, and I know that that's already what's gonna happen. So it was already planned that way by someone with a whole lot more power than me. So we will just wait and see on that. But that's my 32-week update. Today's appointment was very eye-opening for sure. And now I'm just really ready to get this room ready to go for Bradley and get the guest room situated for my mom in case we need her, and just really ready to get ready and settled in here. So if you've had cholestasis of pregnancy, it's also called obstetric cholestasis or ICP, intrahepatic cholestasis of pregnancy, let me know in the comments. Was your itching localized all over? Did it come and go? Was it constant? And let me know what your experience was like with a super early induction, just so I can be a little bit more prepared. I would love if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and just comment down below that you're here and watching with me. I hope you're all excited for Christmas. I know we're getting excited for Christmas, and I will see you in my next video.